Hello, I'm Jocelyn from Jocelyn Seamer Education. It is my mission to support teachers so that together we can eliminate reading failure. Right now, there are thousands of parents all around the country who don't know why their child can't read. They've done everything that's asked of them. They've bought them the books, they've gone to preschool, they read to them every day, they talk with them, they value school and make sure children are at school every day. And yet their child is 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 years old and they still can't read properly. And parents don't know why. At the same time, we have a whole bunch of teachers who are either unemployed or underemployed. These crazy times where learning has gone online has meant that many casual teachers and relief teachers have just not had work. And so I thought to myself, well, how can we make a win-win? And so while I wouldn't normally just pick a teach along out of the blue and put it into action, I thought, why don't I run a teach along to help teachers pivot and move across into tutoring? Because I have seen people commenting on social media that they might turn their hand to tutoring, and that's great. But it's not just a simple matter of providing some broad instruction and doing some sight words and reading some stories and there we go, we've provided tutoring. Tutoring is a serious business and you need to understand how to specifically address the needs of children, because those whose parents are seeking help are the children who have needed an explicit, systematic, cumulative, evidence-based, highly structured approach to reading and haven't been able to get it. So you need to understand the alphabetic principle. You need to understand how words work. You need to understand how to teach across an explicit teaching model. You need to understand how to break things down. You need to know how to specifically address deficits in phonemic skills. Now, tutoring is a really serious business. And one of the other things you need to know is your limitations. Because if you had an acute heart condition, you wouldn't go to your GP to fix you up. You would be referred to a cardiologist, and reading is the same. There are some children who really need a speech pathologist or someone who is highly specialised in supporting them. But the majority of children in my experience have those instructional casualties that I've talked about before. They're the kids who need the good, strong, systematic, cumulative, structured, evidence-based approach and haven't had it. So you need to know what that is to be able to get results for them. Because I've known families who spent thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours engaging in tutoring with absolutely no result. A very mild increase in some sort of skill, but nothing that's lasting and nothing that makes a real difference. And that's not okay. So I want to help. That's why I became a teacher. It's why I've taught in some of the most remote and disadvantaged places in Australia, because I like to help. It's what I do, and I want to help you. So if you're one of those people with the bills piling up, or there's uncertain work ahead of you, or someone in your household has a job that's at risk or they've lost it, this can be a way for you to look after your own financial health, but also make a big difference in the life of a child. Because it's really hard for parents to know where to turn and how to get the help that they need for their kids. And those two things can happen and we can have that win-win. So you might be saying, well, Jocelyn, what do you know about tutoring? Well, what you probably don't know is that I've actually been tutoring since about 2006. And at my peak of tutoring, I had 30 children who I worked with from home. Now, we didn't have Zoom and all sorts of other online platforms then, and I probably would have used them if we had. But I have been using online platforms for the past 12 months because I still engage in tutoring. And I wish that tutoring wasn't necessary. I wish that every child's needs could be met in school, but for a variety of reasons, that's not happening. So while ever there are kids who need help, we need people who know how to help them. And we need to be purposeful and thoughtful and careful about how that happens. But we do need to help. So let's work together to put you in front of those kids. You might have seen that I'm also running another teach along at the moment, and that's about supporting struggling readers. That one's really aimed at a school setting and how we're providing appropriate intervention and classroom support. This teach along is about how we are helping children outside of a school setting and really supporting them. So when I run a teach along, there'll be a recorded introductory session, because I don't want to take up our time, which is valuable, doing housekeeping, fundamental stuff. I'll record that one and you can watch it. And then all of the other sessions are delivered like this, using Zoom, face-to-face, with lots of opportunity to ask questions and get really practical and share ideas and have a real collegial atmosphere to our learning. We're all adults, and I really enjoy doing that work and supporting teachers. So tutoring is a serious responsibility, as I've said. And if you're thinking, well, I should know this, why don't I know what it means to put together a program that's cumulative? Well, just stop beating yourself up, because hardly any of us have been taught. University doesn't prepare us, unfortunately. And even after we've been working in a school for a period of time, there's a good chance that you didn't learn that working either. And so that's where I come in. I want to help bridge that gap for you, to give you that certainty, so that when you do some tutoring, you can look kids in the eye, even if it's, through a screen, and look parents in the eye and say, it's okay. I know what to do. We are going to get results for you. Tutoring is also very different from classroom teaching, where you get to see those children every day. When you tutor, typically you're seeing them for an hour a week. So you need to know how to structure things and really work with parents to support parents to make sure that that daily practice happens, because they have to be an integral part. And building the relationship with parents is so very important. Otherwise, you really won't get the success. Now, if you've gotten this far into the recording, I know that you're ready. I know that you are genuinely hoping that you can engage in some of this work. So let's have a look at what's included in the teach along, so I can help you do that. Now, when we run a teach along, as I said, I use Zoom and as an online platform, and I will do things like share a screen with you. So I'm going to share now, and you can't see what I'm doing, but I am accessing some stuff here. And there's my screen. I am going to open up my desktop, and you can see all those things on there, nothing inappropriate, I promise. And then I'm going to just use that PowerPoint as normal. So part of a teach along, being part of a teach along means that you can actually become a little bit more conversant with this technology that we're all needing to use right now to support our students. And look, I can make that bigger. Isn't that fancy? I hope that's actually coming through on the recording. No face-to-face interaction is ever perfect, and that's okay. So I've used this imagery of the light bulb for this teach along, because for families, they can often feel like they are just searching in the dark for the answers. They know their child's intelligent, they talk with them, they live with them, they've raised them, but they just aren't reading. And when you can be that person that gives them the certainty to say, wow, we found someone who can help us, they are just so relieved. And that's a great feeling to have. So in this teach along, let me move this box again. In this teach along, there we go. Good. There's a whole lot of content, and I'm not going to bore you by reading this through for you. There'll be a link, either if it's on Facebook, I think it'll be above, or somewhere else it'll be below. Somewhere around this video, there will be a link to the webpage where you can have a look at all of this information and other information as well. But we're really getting into, can I say the guts? We're getting into the guts of what it is, what the science of reading instruction tells us, and talking all the way through things like, how do we support parents? How do we work with parents? And we talk about the money stuff. As women, we often don't want to talk about the money because we're not supposed to. We're supposed to just love it. But the reality is that you have skills and they deserve to be paid for. Now, I'm not a fan of $150, an hour session, but you need to be properly compensated for your time. And families are actually happy to do that if what they're getting is a quality service. So we talk about that. I've learned through my own tutoring experience a whole bunch of pitfalls, including, how how to make sure you don't get paid. I've done that. And so I want to help you not do that, and to actually make sure you get paid, how to attract and, well, just attract, how to attract new clients. That's important too, because you can be sitting there but with no students to work with, then that's probably not that handy. But there's lots to learn, and you can have a look at that list another time. What's included is pretty much everything you'll need to get started. So I'm going to give you diagnostic assessment tools. I'm going to give you report templates and PowerPoints and lesson plans, and you will be able to either work, once we're all allowed to see each other again, you'll be set up to work face-to-face, but you'll also be set up to work online, which is, as I said, how I'm doing things for the last 12 months. This teach along is a little different, and I'm trying something new, and that's giving you some personalized feedback on your work. So you will have the opportunity to video yourself conducting a lesson. Now that might be with your own child, with the next door neighbor, with someone, a niece or a nephew, and you'll do it online, so you can record it using Zoom, and we'll have a look at it together and give some feedback. So it's almost like me coming into your workplace and coaching you, which I think is really exciting. You will also have access to a Facebook page where we can continue to support each other, because as you start to work with students, questions will come up, and so you'll know that you'll have a place to go. One of the really cool features of having an online teach along versus a face-to-face, say a full day workshop, is that in a teach along I record everything and you get to keep it. So you'll have access to the recorded videos long after the teach along finishes. So it's not a case of, hit and hope you get everything. We run the sessions and they're for you as well. If you're at home with small children, we can't plan when they nap. But hey, if you want to come along to a session with a baby on your lap, I have absolutely no issue. Please do. We are a family-friendly organisation. But sometimes it's just not possible to make a live session. So you can know that the recording is there for you to watch as many times as you like at your leisure. Now, let's have a look at exactly what it entails. As I said, I do the introductory session pre-recorded. Ordinarily, a teach-along, like the Supporting Struggling Readers teach-along that I mentioned, is run 1 hour session a week for 5 or 6 weeks. But I thought, gosh, if you're one of those casual teachers without work, you don't have till the end of term 2, which is realistically what we'd be looking at for you to be able to get started. So I didn't want you to have to wait that long. So I thought, well, that week after Easter would probably be a good time, because it's the holidays. So if you are already working, you'll have time to participate. I work full-time in a school at the moment as well. I have that commitment, so that's great for me too. But we're going to do 3 2-hour sessions that are really practical and hands-on. That will give you a really good grasp of using the online platform. You'll know what it's like to be a student, and so you'll have an opportunity to work with others as well in a very practical way, both to learn the information, but also then to break off into small groups and work with each other. And it's very interactive. No one wants to talk and talk for 2 hours, trust me. And then that 30-minute group coaching session, as I've said, and that is a small group, and you can upgrade, but we'll talk about that another time. So ordinarily, all of the things that I'm giving you, the assessments, the PowerPoints, the lesson plans, the information, access to the content in the sessions, and the coaching is about $330 worth, but I want to do it for you for $150. And you might be thinking, oh, Jocelyn, that's still a lot of money. And yep, I acknowledge that over $100 for yourself is. But if you're a 4-year trained experienced teacher, you'll make that money back in about three sessions. So I don't think you can lose here. You'll make the money back in the work that you do. You'll do that work even better, which means that you'll be attracting more students. And at some point, when the dust settles and you're back in the classroom, everything that you've learned is going to be of benefit to all the students in front of you, because it will give you a new appreciation for the child who struggles. And having spent that time and had that accountability of really needing to get results. Because if you're taking someone's money, they're paying for a service and you need to pony up with the results, and you can, it's all right, I'm going to show you how. Then that sense of accountability and personal buy-in is really important, and that will change the way you teach in the classroom generally. So this is of benefit for now, but also to upskill you for your future teaching. So if you have any questions, please ask them on my Facebook page. You can ask me questions, send me a message, or I'll post a public question. You can also access me through my website. So there's a contact page. Please go ahead, ask lots of questions. I want you to be sure, and I want you to get value. I don't want you signing up for something and then it doesn't meet your needs. So ask me lots of questions, because I'm sure that you won't be the only one. And I really hope to see you. It hurts me to think that there are teachers who have so much to give, but just no opportunity to give it at this point. And it hurts me to think that there are kids who, frankly, I think there's probably quite a few parents about to discover that their child cannot read as well as they thought they could now that their kids are at home. So let's work together. Let's take this opportunity to help kids get the best learning and teachers do the best teaching. And I really look forward to working with you. So thank you so much for listening all the way to the end. Click on that link to find out what's to come. And I just wish you the best. Happy teaching. Bye-bye.